that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digestif. It is mid-November, rapidly approaching December, rapidly approaching the holiday season, rapidly approaching all of the thoughts and conceptions of the past year. Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? Here's the thing, if it was a bad year, right?
Oh,
you don't want to admit that yet. You say it was a bad year, but at the holiday party, you say a lot of things like this was a year of growth. That's how you know you had a horrible year. If you had a year where you failed, where you were built with nothing but failure, you go to a job every day, you had one job, and you didn't do it for 12 months in a row, what you do is you don't have the big Christmas party, You have a small holiday party, a holiday brunch.
Get together.
A get-together. A holiday lunch. You sit down and you go, you know what? No matter what happened this year, guys, the one thing we always hung our hat on is trading. We knew how to trade. That was one thing we knew how to do. And even though we lost 75% of our investors, and even though the current corporate office is going down, and there's no future in brick and mortar, and Shauna's committing suicide, and the reality is Hank in accounting started cutting himself, and he lost his dog. It was a rescue dog, but you still got to appreciate that he got one in the first place. But we have to appreciate this moment. And you have that speech, and you don't share anything positive regarding profits and success or anything, but that is how you know it was a rough year.
But Sam, we learned a lot this year.
We learned a lot, and we grew.
I've been learning a lot and growing.
You've been growing every single day. Yes. And with that being said, I'm Sam Mushman, comedian sommelier. Great to be back. Robbie Sco to my left. How are you? I love you. I miss you. I appreciate you. And you
hanging in there, bro.
You are dressed like 1990s Tom Green right now. You understand that. You have the baggy suit pants that don't go with the button-up shirt that's not tucked in. It's very Tom Green, like Undercutters sketch type of outfit you're wearing. You're classic, like the Tom Green show in its heyday when he would walk into supermarkets and like grab, like hop on the horn and yell crazy shit. That's how he was dressed. How you're currently dressed. Seth is to my right. The one, the only. Seth is back on the show.
Hey, glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's going to be fun to have you. The good thing about you is that you are in. There's no one in this town more than Seth that's in the prime of their life. And, we're going to talk about the unique experiences that entails, right? Do you agree you're in the prime of your life?
I've been feeling more prime lately.
Okay.
Is what I'll say.
You are primal.
I might. Well,
in the moment, you are very.
I might have
primal.
a couple more years, and then I am.
Well, you do have a couple more years. You absolutely do. You have it like your skin is like it's like skincare by L'Oreal. There's no blotches or anything. He's like a black Ken doll. It's freaking ridiculous.
I've never not popped a pimple in my life. Just so everyone at home knows.
That's got to be the info. That's your tagline on your Instagram page.
Yes, never. Seth Shonak never popped a pimple.
That's great. That's great. And I could imagine you and just Dr. Pimple Popper just hitting it off, man. She's cute, right?
Yeah.
You watch her take down a giant welt on a guy's back. That doesn't turn you on a little bit, right?
The most satisfying video.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, guys. Well, it's been, first and foremost, apologize to the listeners, all 7 of you, that we haven't gotten an episode in a good month and change. It's been a little bit, but we just released an episode as of late where we talk about a future dating show we're going to have for Lucas, and you'll be able to give us your thoughts, feedback, analysis on that. I have a long week ahead. I am taking my advanced sommelier placement test tomorrow.
Oof.
I was invited to do this 3 weeks ago, and I decided to pay $100 to go and embarrass myself. I have not studied anything. I'm not read over anything. I am going into a test and tomorrow morning, and I don't know. It's going to be an embarrassment for all parties involved at the Pearson Testing Center. But, I think it's important for me to see the test so that I can hopefully prepare for it better next year. I don't even know if this is a good decision or not, what I'm doing.
$100 trial run. What is that?
Yeah, that's what this is.
You're going to learn and grow so much through taking this test.
Right there. This is a beautiful thing.
If you pass it, there's no growth.
This is my holiday brunch tomorrow. This is my holiday brunch. I'm going to this test. I'm going to eat it on the test because at this point I can barely tell you where the fuck Bordeaux and Burgundy are on a map. I am that rusty. It is not good, but we will see how it goes. We'll definitely taste more wine on the show. Have a lot of fun with that. Have you been tasting more wine lately? You come to my wine bar a lot, but you don't order wine. You just have my colleagues make you a whiskey cocktail. That is your vibe.
I did a good old just Google of like, what do you drink when you have a cold? And it was just like whiskey. I was like, oh, okay. Make me whiskey stuff, which in general, easiest one would be just, whiskey, honey, lemon type jams. But, they like to mix it up at your establishment, which I dig. I like mixing it up with that. And I've just been finding miscellaneous wine bottles. Like, what is this? Stone Cellars. If you were watching this and you gave me this, thank you. I don't know who brought this over, but I think I left it open for too long because we got our professional smeller here saying it's
oxidized. It's called it's completely oxidized. Oxygen creates a chemical reaction. 7 days in the bottle. What the fuck are we doing? We're not touching that. But I think you harped on a more interesting point regarding you enjoy cocktails that will help you not be sick, right?
Yeah.
So you constantly have that kind of hipster sickly vibe to you, where you could just show up. If you showed up on a scooter with a neck tattoo and then started saying you're casually battling leukemia, you would sit down and enjoy a nice whiskey cocktail,
right?
And that would be where it ends, right? So that's an interesting point for why you enjoy those cocktails. That does fit your vibe.
Yeah, I did also meet up with my doctor again lately, who's been studying me after like the vaccine side effects, and I've recovered from that, which is awesome.
Yeah,
like my heart's back to normal. I got like
that's amazing.
MRIs, this and that.
And the listeners know the listeners were concerned, especially your girlfriend was concerned that was again, I've never heard of that situation happen.
Very rare.
Very rare.
The vaccine side effects. So luckily that's gone, and that's just like some internal, breathing a little bit different after the vaccine. Yeah. But yeah, I'm good. I've just got like regular, like basic cold type stuff I'm battling now. But it definitely feels more like a regular cold.
Lingering?
And not like a, doesn't feel like a COVID thing. So, and it wasn't, I just for fun, because I like getting penetrated in the nose, so I just got another COVID test and it was negative, even though I got the vaccine.
For sure.
So it just feels good to be like, oh yeah, it's definitely not that. It's fine. Don't freak out because I'm coughing. It's all right. Yeah. It's cool.
No. I mean, here's the thing about Eastern European people, right? They're like we're the cockroaches of the world. We're not. It takes a lot to kill us, right? If an apocalypse happens, you'll still see a bunch of skinny white people emerge from Yugoslavia, and they'll survive to when the next species takes over. It's a very odd people in that way because we constantly look like we're kind of sick, we're not well, right? Whether we're in the Ukraine, Yugoslavia, Albania, you name it, right? We don't seem like we're in a great place, but next thing you know, we survive, right? And we move on. We've talked about why Robbie Sco would survive multiple apocalypses on this show. Seth, you are living the best time in your life right now, but you would not survive because I think the issue here is when the world does end, a lot of people would take issue with how good looking you are. And they would want to end it. They would not want. They're jealous of it now, but they can't do anything about it. So when we turn into a societal purge, Hunger Game type of situation, you have to watch your back. You need
primal jealousy. I kind of feel good about that. If that's how I go out, they're like, he was too good looking. I feel like I would look down or up. With a smile on my face, I'd be like, "Wow, all right."
There's just going to be a sea of single 5'2" women that are going to drop a tear under their eye and surround your dead body.
It'll be like one of those, artist gets famous after they die type situation. Like
it would
now,
be
all the girls that are like in the world will be like, oh, I wish I met him. And I'd be like, well, I was there for so many times.
It would be a very emotional day, but the day would end with a nice late lunch. And we would all go out and we would pop a few bottles of champagne. It would turn into a party. Everybody would leave happy, unfortunately. It would be the day of remembering your life. But at the end of the day, because of of how your DNA is designed and how you look and carry yourself, people would celebrate that. It would end well.
I just gotta accept it.
You do. You definitely do. Speaking of that, for those of you that don't remember that are listening to this, Seth was on our very first episode.
You're here.
First episode ever.
Glad to be back.
He was the special guest, and we talked about
That's
a lot of.
That's a good whore.
That's a good whore. We talked about a lot of important things. I don't want to dive back into that at all in this episode. I think there's more important, matters to discuss. But just super quick, does the page still exist, and are we still moving forward, or has it ceased to exist?
The page is stagnantly still online. It is. There's been no progress, but nobody's found it. I don't know. There's nothing. There's a secret page.
No additional content to your secret OnlyFans page?
Not yet. No, it's
yeah.
But
you understand that OnlyFans is one of the most profitable things you could do. So what you're doing is probably one of the most unprofitable things you could be doing.
It's a big tease. It's a tease to society and my wallet.
And your bank account.
And my wallet.
Yes.
All
right. You gotta build your email list.
Take that for what it's worth, for sure.
Yeah.
There has been a scam going on in the world of art. Comedy, music, you two brought it to my attention, and I let you know that also has been happening to a lot of comedians. You want to break down the scam that's been happening, Mr. Robbie Sco?
So what happened to me, I'll let you explain next, but I've just been reaching out in my DMs from people that are trying to get original compositions made for them. And, I listened to the proposal, we'll call it, because I have gotten DMs from people that have, for example, seen my YouTube videos, and I talk about like music and tech, and it turns into paid work where I help you like get your computer and cameras together, or I help you like on the lesson, just reaching out with DMs. But
the viewers now understand your business model. Great.
Oh no, that's a very small slice. But what this person said, which was they were trying to get like an original composition made for like their son's birthday, and like, I can pay this, I can pay
$200.
They can pay $300.
$300. Wow.
And then they accidentally send 1,000.
Yeah, and what he said is like, oh yeah, I was talking to my account manager and I accidentally sent 3,000. So you can just pay back the difference. I can trust you, right? And I was like, yeah, once I receive the $300, I will stock. If you want to pay me for my music services, you may do so. If you're trying to dick me around, waste someone else's time is what I said. And then they just didn't respond. But it's like odd how specific they were getting. I have it right here. So I really just want it to be a simple song with just your vocals and any instrument you play.
Oh my God!
Granted, I have nothing online.
This is a quote of what is in my brain of what this happened. Yeah.
Granted, I have nothing online of me singing. So
right. Yeah. There's nothing.
A simple song with just your vocals and any instrument you play, and I'm sure you'll do great. Any instrument you play. His name is Peter.
The drums. And
he will be turning 15. His favorite color is blue. He loves jazz and pop music. His best friend is his German Shepherd, Braun. And I also want him to know, and I and his mom will always be there for him. Heart emoji.
Oh my
It's
God.
a good scam. It was a well put together. So essentially what happens, right? Here's what happens for the suckers that get caught, right? You send them $3,000. They pay back the $2,700. The only issue is the $3,000 was never transferred. It was never real. So now you just paid someone else $2,700, right? So that's the scam. And it's been happening to a lot of comedians. The pitch is slightly different. It's, can you do a comedy video for my wife? That's been the consistent note of it. A handful of guys have been posting on social media and stuff, they're hilarious. They're hilarious responses to it, or and then there's always that guy that like thinks his response is super hilarious and it's just kind of weird, But it's like, dude, we get it. You picked up on the fact that it was a scam, and you said nothing funny. Calm down. It's gonna be okay. but it's the same exact scam where, can you do a comedy video for $200, which shows the lack of respect that comedy does deserve. Comedy deserves to be bitched around because we are the biggest whores of all whores. At least with the musicians, they're offering $300. For comedy, they already knocked off at $200. They sent 1,000, and they got a handful of dumbasses to send back the whatever that is, the 800, and call it a day. But what were you gonna?
I will say that I thought it was a race thing because I got offered 200, and as a musician, I was like, "Whoa, what do you mean 300?" But he told me it's his son's birthday, 7th birthday. His favorite animal is a tiger. His favorite superhero is the Flash. And I just want him to know that he and his mother will always be there for him. And I was so excited, like this is recently, like
Seth, as I would have assumed, ate this one up.
I prompted something on Instagram saying,
you said, listen, I will put on my shades indoors immediately to write this.
There was, when I was here for the first podcast and I was talking about that secret page, it was initially made to make things like this, an original song for someone about anything, about anyone. I was like, oh, this would be great.
Right up your alley.
Yep. And I was talking to him. I was like, he likes The Flash. That's like my favorite TV show. I'll like put in some of the theme song into like the music in the back.
Hard.
I was like, I started writing it, and then I swear to God, I probably would have sent it. I didn't know about the money sending back and forth thing, but then I got another DM for the same exact thing. They didn't even bother to change the name of the kid. And because they could sense my boner, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll get him for another one. We'll just."
No, we all sense it. I'm feeling it. I'm on the same couch, but that's okay. The bottom line is nobody got caught with it. That's what is important. Great scam though. Here's why this is a great scam, because you are targeting a weak group of people, which is us.
Thirsty.
A thirsty, weakened group of people. A group of people that have taken a lot of work that doesn't make sense on paper. If you break down some of the gigs that everyone in this room has taken and you give it to like a guy that works at like Thomson Reuters, he would be like, what the fuck is going on? That would be his reaction, and then he would do a line and go to lunch. But the reality is that is a brilliant scam because they're doing a little bit of research into the situation. They're trying to make the scam sound original. They're using social media, which is smart. Just hashtag stand-up comedy and go down the line and start hitting them stand-up comedy. Hashtag live music, go down the line, right? And then at the end of the day, you're taking advantage of thirsty energy. Honestly, I'm shocked that I didn't think of the scam first. I'm jealous. I wish that I thought of the scam. This is a thing. I really appreciate
one
the
success,
scam.
and that's great.
mean, straight up, it's 2021. There's desperate times. We're post-pandemic. There's another one around the corner. It's time for scams. Scams were great in the late 80s, early 90s. That was a great time for scams. That was the era of cold calling scams, right? It was, and then that kind of slowly started to fade a little bit, and then you had the housing scam, right? The foreclosure scam, right? I mean, America has been one scam after another, but the greatest time period in scams was the Wolf of Wall Street time period. The cold calling, shorting stocks, the penny stocks, that whole time. I mean, what a better scam than that? And now, those guys would call these idiots that live in like upstate New York and Western PA, and they would sell them penny stocks, right? That that was like an airplane company that was two kids dicking around in a garage in San Francisco, right? And they would sell these stocks off, and the reality of it is that this is the modern day version of that, because they would build rapport with the customer. They would build rapport with this dumbass from Des Moines, Iowa, who this is the first phone call he's gotten in 2 weeks, right? Well, this scam, a lot of those comics, this might have been the first paid gig they've gotten in 5 years. So I respect it. It's a beautiful scam. I respect the monster who put it together, because if you're doing this, you've already come clean with yourself that you're a monster. So you're aware of it, and you're just going to go be that monster. So, I mean,
the scam knows its audience.
Yeah.
The scam does.
Yeah, you can still try to sneak your way into weaseling a free song out of Seth somehow. Just like make a new account, like add some like superhero lingo in there. Like I'm the right
all
song
you gotta
for you
do,
and your wife.
You're killing me right now, because I was trying to before the end of the episode, and now he's on to me. All right, I was this close, whether he realized it or not. The next line, I was going to have him write me a love poem. But
all you got to do is like just make a fake account of like some hot girl and like tell me the right things. I'll write a song.
Listen, here's what we're going to do. I need you to write a song for my wife about the future of our relationship. What I'm going to do is I need that, and then I also need you to get me 2 cups of coffee. I'm going to Venmo you $300.
Yes,
and then I'm going to ask for some of it back.
Of course.
And then once I receive the song, I will need another 200, and then I will return 300 on top of that. The numbers add up. Don't worry about it. And then when it's all said and done, I'll play the song for my wife, and then we'll have a whole Zoom kind of like fuck fest together.
I like it. I like it. Let me know when you need the song by.
100%. Well, speaking of things that we need to know by, there's a man in this room who has a big up-and-coming gig at the end of the month. First DJ gig for the great and powerful Robbie Sco. Yes. Really excited. The twist here is what? What is the kicker in this situation?
Oh, I've got to fully learn how to DJ, which I will do, which I will do.
I have
and
faith.
this
I have
point-
faith in you.
The gig is 2 weeks out. At this point right
so that's
now,
what that setup is. I see now.
at this point right now, we have a very Fisher-Price DJ setup in the corner of the room. And it's kind of like little Jimmy's first DJ thing. And we have 2 weeks out for this gig. Do we currently know how to DJ at all at this point? If you had to do it today, would we have a set list? Would we know what we're doing? Where are we currently at, Robbie?
Oh yeah, I could do it today. I did have some gigs in college. I played some bars and it was fun. It was fun as hell. DJing in college. But back in those days, you were allowed to pipe in Spotify, which is amazing. Like you could take Spotify and pipe it in. So now I have had to get like
Oh, so
separate
you're saying so
softwares.
now it requires talent? Understood. So you can't do that anymore. But
Like separate softwares. So you can get like SoundCloud or Beatport or Tidal or whatever.
here's what could be really fun. I want to talk to you about because I don't. I'm relying on our friendship for this, but I think that this could be a lot of fun. What are you?
I'm
doing?
just watching. No, literally. How are you
You're
gonna
pouring
pour
oxidized
old
wine over a
ice.
stale ice
in
cube.
front of a sommelier? Like,
I don't get offended often, but you're really pushing me. You're really pushing me. So, where is this gig? What is the venue that you are going to be DJing? Not really at in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think you're right. It tastes pretty bad. I'm playing. So it's like a private party in Morristown.
Okay.
And it is going to be a mix of like 70s and 80s, and then also
beats.
some like pop and hip hop.
Can I be your agent for just DJing? Can I be your like old school style 3-piece suit agent? I walk in, you walk in with your agent. I sit down at the bar. I immediately get a scotch and soda, right? Very like 1990s, agent move. And I sit down there, and then I go to the. I will negotiate all your DJing business. I don't even want to cut. I just want to do it because I think it's fun.
Oh, yeah. This is even going back to the first episode where we had Seth on. We also had Lucas talking about. So this is through that entertainment company. So like we're going through like I'm a DJ for that entertainment company.
I could be your agent, and I could get on the phone with him and go, listen, we book gigs as a package deal. So you have to book him 5 times out for in one transaction. You can't just book one off. So we don't have time for that shit. If you want to get him on a residency, he can play here every 2 weeks, right? His going rate for, per quarter, for example, would be, let's say $5,000, right? You get $5,000 and that's broken out into multiple gigs, right? And then I put together a payment structure and go, so every quarter you pay, his compensation is $5,000. What we're going to do is I am going to send you $15,000 and then you just pay me back the difference. And then he's booked until early 2022.
Can you be my manager as well for this? This is I like.
All right, so for yours, it's going to be a little different. So, all right. How you doing, sir? I represent the great Seth, OnlyFans, Aniba persona here. You have to book him for a party 6 weeks out because here's the thing. Depending on the type of women he needs to physically please, he needs to work out for that type. If this is a party of Amazonian women, for example, he needs to put on a couple LBs. He may not be able to handle all that type of structure at one point. And if there's going to be toys involved, we need to also think about that. So at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you 100 different sex toys. You need to send me back the other 75. And then once you receive them, there's just going to be a big box. Send me the other 75 back and we'll see you in 2 weeks. That's how we would negotiate.
That sounds perfect. That's better than the deal I got with my last manager.
And then I would get you complimentary toys left and right so that you could reactivate that page and you could just like go to town on your butthole and then just kind of watch the viewership skyrocket. Just go to fucking town, dude. Just take the whole afternoon out on yourself, You got
to treat yourself sometimes. This is
Well, under my management, I wouldn't exactly look at it like that. I would look at it as you're here to do a job.
All right. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
I require the very
start
best.
taking it a little more seriously.
You know what I mean?
There we go. My butt stuff.
So, your whole business model, we've already talked about this. Ass play is incredibly important. But it's going to be interesting. I would love to see videos of the first official DJ gig. You have the exact vibe needed to hit this out of the park.
Well, we're building a badass. Me and Lucas, we're building like a badass like DJ hybrid set. So like I'll be DJing and playing like wireless guitar, and he'll be playing saxophone.
So this is this is going to be the most talented version of DJing you'll ever see. You're just playing instruments, but now you have a little DJ thing. That's brilliant. You bring all your instruments.
It's gonna get pretty involved. Like even right now, even for like performing at the lab, like we're gonna have some performances here at the music lab with like we're gonna get the haze machine, lasers, and go over there. I could get a song mixing, and then let's say I want that song to play for 30 seconds or a minute. I'll hop over there and play some drums, then go back and go over there. He can be over there playing saxophone. I can have my guitar. I could do a front flip over the thing and just be, like grinding on people, jump on top of the roads, and so it'll be a whole like interactive thing in addition to DJing, like different songs back and forth. So it'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the vids. I want to see. I want to try to make that gig. Is that a gig on a weeknight? What is that? When does that gig happen?
Private party?
Yeah, that's private.
Well, okay, so then I will be the agent.
Yeah. Wait, no. Who set you up with the event? I'll just try to get to be their friend. Weasel our way in.
So I will be the agent to this, and then you will be accompanying me as a potential new client wanting to see how I conduct business. So he's going to come in. You're going to introduce me as your agent. I am going to immediately shake their hand and ask for a scotch with a splash of water. And you're going to be next to me, and you're going to say, "Hi, I'm just observing."
I have my notebook,
and the owner's going to go, "What do you mean? It's a private gig." You're like, "Well, we may be working together. I'm just here to observe." And then when they go, "No, you can't do that," you just keep saying that.
Yeah,
no, I'm
it's
just
like
observing.
you don't understand.
You assume the clothes. In life,
I need this.
You assume the clothes, and then you come and sit down. You would be more of what you're trying to be in the situation. You would order a Cosmo. That's what you would get. You would order a Cosmo.
They're delicious.
Both drinks are horrible. I would want either one, but we have to play the roles. I would be drinking a scotch with a splash of water.
I don't normally get that.
And I would be talking a lot about about growth. Be a lot.
I know a lot about that. Is something I've done.
It would be a similar conversation to the holiday party brunch. It wouldn't be the buyout holiday party. Those are for successful companies that actually make money. This would be a similar type of flow to the holiday party brunch for the accounting department of 8 people. Because they didn't have enough overhead in the budget to bring accounting to the full corporate buyout. They didn't make it. They're just numbers people. Nobody actually cares, It's like they can figure out.
Oh, they still work here? We don't have algorithms yet?
Yeah, like at the end of the day. And every other person in the company got a D+ in algebra, but they know if they really needed to, they could crunch the numbers. That's how a company like that treats the accounting department. It's never the greatest the greatest relationship. But what are you gonna do? I do want to dive into a little more some of me and your observations, Robbie, that we took on Seth, a few months back, and we said in that moment that we wanted to have Seth back on the show. But before we do that, I do want to share with you, and because I want to get into a bigger point about this. I'm not just saying this because this is like a shock thing or whatever. But last night there was an incident in my women's bathroom. And I had to go in with some of my female staff, and a guest didn't throw up in the toilet. She splattered all over the toilet area, right?
Exorcist.
And so I just, in the moment, I didn't want to put that on one of my female employees. I just felt like it was a long shift. I felt like everybody was tired. And I just felt compelled to clean up the throw up. I felt like I had to clean it up. And I didn't have to.
That is not equality, but I appreciate that.
I felt like I had to do it, right? So I got down on hands and knees, cleaned it up, cleaned the throw up with a couple rags, had gloves on, all that.
Biohazard.
And then my one of my employees came in with the mop, did the mop job afterwards, got up. The bigger point here, this is the 4th incident of this bullshit in the women's bathroom. The women's bathroom is a goddamn Jumanji scene. And there's such a misconstrued element that the men's bathroom is messier than the women's bathroom. In 2021, bullshit. We are in a feminist time now. Women are business leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, which means they all have a bunch of hairy vaginas. They're farting more than they ever did, and they don't give a fuck anymore. So the women's bathroom is now just like the men's bathroom. But the reality is that there is, like, women that go to a public bathroom, there is literally no chill. The term is, I think, no chill. I mean, there is feminine hygiene products all over the goddamn floor every single night. I sweep them up with a broom like fucking landmines everywhere. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, men throw up at bars all the time. It is what it is. But, like, for the most part, you get it in the toilet. There's something about guys that we can get the stuff coming out of us in the toilet. The splatter. It was as if the girl went into the stall and just self-combusted and just blew up and then just splattered throw up on the walls, right? And then it's like, and it's the same bullshit. It was like the guest that did it happened to be a vegan food blogger that like is going to write about, got all of our gluten-free options, and then she goes and drops a giant splatter throw up fog bullshit in my toilet, leaves, and then comes back and starts talking about gluten-free waffles. It's like, shut the fuck. What kind of monster, right? What type of monster can
ignores the fact
all of those things? You just splattered like a truck driver that got off of Route 66, and now you're going to come out and talk about why we need more, like plant-based raviolis. Like, you can't have
maybe it's time to go home.
You can't have both of those things, So I want to get your thoughts. Is the women's bathroom, is the cleanliness overrated? I think the whole feminine hygiene, I think, is overrated.
Or maybe there's something to be said about her ability to walk out of that stall with it looking that bad. Because I've probably in college, like, splattered, but in my drunken, terrible state, tried my best to, like, clean that up. Like, I would do that. Like, while fucking still spewing, I'd be like, oh, man, that's fucked up. I would still kind of clean that up. So maybe there's something in her state. It's like, oh, yeah, but, I'm sick, so I'm just going to walk out. They'll take care of it.
They all came out like a Congo line. They all went in together. So none of them, three of them didn't throw up. One did. So there were three of them that didn't throw up, that looked at that and said, that's fine. We're going to leave that there. And they all came out with plastic cups of water. So we knew something happened. So I went back in there and saw it. It was. I mean, they spent a lot of money, so whatever. Sometimes, you clean a couple throw up spots up, if But the reality is, that whole vibe, that whole, like, when we were kids, like, oh, the women's bathroom is a beautiful place. The men's bathroom, it's bullshit.
There was one time where the women's bathroom was actually nicer. It was in 8th grade or some middle school age, and it was a wrestling. My brothers had like a wrestling dinner to congratulate everyone for the trophies they got. And the men's bathroom was out of order for like 30 minutes. So they're like, all right, so for like 10 minutes, all the guys go to the girls' bathroom. We'll kick the girls out. And then when you're done, it'll be back to whatever. And so we went in there, and all of us kids, this is probably one of the worst things I've participated in, but we were so mad because the women's bathroom was so much nicer. They had a couch. They had like magazines, table, like reading articles and things. Yeah. We were so mad.
That's a 1990s women's bathroom now. That's a 1990s, early 2000s women's bathroom.
It was a very nice venue. It was like one of those places you go to have like a wedding reception, dinner, whatever. But we destroyed that bathroom. Yeah. It was bad. Peeing on the seats. I'm pretty sure someone took a shit on the ground and just throwing things like whatever. Didn't flush. No, it was bad. And when we got out, like 5 minutes later, I heard this like 7-year-old girl just start crying. She came.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up though, because that was the standard though, Seth, for women's bathrooms for years. That was the 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s women's bathroom. At one point, right, and it kind of started when Hillary Clinton started running for president, right? Something kind of took over on the masses, and a population all came together and said, we're not putting up with this anymore. This is the glass ceiling. Like, there's going to be the first female president. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do that. And all the guys that also believe that that's the right thing, that it's time for a woman president. I sure believe that. We all got behind it, right? And we were all there. But in our dumb male brains, we still thought that meant 1990s women's bathrooms, right? But in there, they knew better. They knew that this was coming to an end. They said the glass ceiling to them was just, imagine just a giant splatter of just female hygiene products and internal fluids all over everywhere, and them having no fucks given about it anymore.
And they didn't want to tell us anything.
And that is, if you really break it down, one of the bossiest bitch moves you can do. You know, if this girl is a successful vegan food writer, owns her own business, makes her own money, doesn't need a fucking man, you know what you do? You explode your vegan plant-based raviolis all over my goddamn bathroom. You look at it and go, hey, it's his problem now. I run my own goddamn business. And you leave. And I can understand that. All I'm saying is that those days of the 1990s women's bathroom were gone. Now we should celebrate the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
The men's bathroom has been a Cinderella story. Now a lot of us are Metro. Look how I'm sitting with my legs crossed. Look at the outfits you're wearing, right?
Hey.
We don't know if we've taken a dick here and there. We might think about it, right? So you go into the men's room, right? And now all of a sudden the men's room is kind of put together.
Yeah.
We
No
have-
lines.
There's a ficus plant next to our sink, and it's not dead yet. You know, it's like we're coming together, and I think that men should celebrate our metrosexuality more in our own bathroom. The days of the women's bathroom are over, okay? There are more women CEOs than men over the last several years. There's more women now that aren't having kids that are having better upward mobility in corporate America. The stats are true. The future is female. We're all going to be just a bunch of fucking like just bitch boys for like talented women. Women are better multitaskers. They can put more on their plate. So for the love of God, can we celebrate the men's bathroom?
Get just something.
The men's bathroom is back. It was never there, but now it's arrived.
Now
and
we get the bathroom in consolation of needing to clean up.
I think it's a great consolation prize. I think the days of the black mold in the men's bathroom are coming to an end. And even though there's black mold in my own personal bathroom, I feel like inspired now to clean it. You know, I feel inspired to take it to another level. The tables have turned.
Yeah, and I was at a bar the other day, and the men's bathroom was fucking beautiful. There was like roses on the ceiling, and like it was like darkly lit with like candle-ish lights above the urinal, and it was amazing. I didn't tell the women that. Like I went back out, and the girls were like, "Oh my god, the women's bathroom is amazing. Is the men's bathroom like that?" And I was like sketchily in the bathroom. I was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's really not good at all." I went on to Google it. I searched like New York's stingiest bathrooms. I took a screenshot of it. I cropped out like I cropped out the Xbox. I met the lady a little bit. I showed her like, this is what the bathroom looks like, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's awful."
Let's just let him keep thinking. No, actually, men's bathrooms are trash. Like you don't want to.
Let's call out the elephant in the goddamn room. We're all making some really great points right now. Let's call out the goddamn elephant in the room. Okay, here's the reality. The men's bathroom is probably being decorated more and more by all the other 27 genders, right? Whether it's a gay guy that has his shit together, whether it's a non-binary person, whether it's someone that identifies as a fox only in the autumn months of the year. That doesn't matter, right? Maybe the men's room, the future of the men's bathroom is the non-binary bathroom. It's the bathroom that accepts all walks of life. And now maybe the women's bathroom is going to become the sexist corporate bathroom. Maybe it's only for heterosexual women, right?
Yeah.
You'll have your non-binary, genderless, and men's room in one, and it's going to be a beautiful place. It'll be a place for us all to come and talk about
all walks of life.
why does our female boss such a C-word to us, right? And then you have the corporate greed female bathroom next to it that's just riddled with bloody freaking excrements and puke splatters and everything else. And
Hetero hell.
hetero hell in a room. And I think the boss women of the world deserve that. They deserve a good eyes wide shut, dark, hetero hell bathroom, you know? The time has come. The tables have turned in the bathroom community.
Oh, how the turntables.
It's a great day for bathrooms.
I feel better about it now. Now that we started talking about it.
It's a great day for bathrooms. You know,
I've never felt good about the men's bathroom until.
Well, I never felt better about. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Robbie?
You tip the guy. Do you tip the guy in that busy spot?
And that's what. And another thing. You bring that guy back. Where has that guy been? The bathroom aide. He is not in the binary men's the non-binary genderless male bathroom. There is no maid in there. But you have a male maid with mints ready in the hetero hell women's corporate bathroom.
Splash would never happen.
Yep.
It would have never happened.
And God forbid, and what happens with him is you start him off minimum wage, and if God forbid his eyes go below a woman's neck, he's fired immediately. Get him the fuck out of here. How dare you stare at my tits?
Recyclable.
Yeah. So that's where I think that's going to go, and where I think, you know, and it also even I think relates back to how men and women are interacting with each other in a social setting. That is the perfect segue to some of the observations me and Robbie have done on you. And when you're out in public, when you're in the moment doing things, right? Robbie, we were out at Village one night. We were having drinks, right? And then we observed Seth, right? We observed him in when I was single, what we called in the cut. In the cut. I don't even know if that's accurate. I think that's just in my dumb white brain. But in my dumb white brain, Seth was in the cut. What were your initial observations, Robbie, of what Seth was doing or trying to do?
Well, one thing that's interesting that I'll say at first, relating back to something that the inverse could not be true. Like, our vertically challenged Lucas cannot like approach a 2 foot taller woman and like be confident about that. But like, The girl Seth was with was like, I think up to his like belly button or something. She was like very, very short, and like I remember him looking way down. But still, he ate so much. He was still like dancing in such a way where like his hips didn't like go right into her face.
That's the first move right there of you of when you know there's a tall, nimble guy that gets his dick fucked off every other night. That's the first. That's the first note.
Only.
The first note is you got to have strong knees and strong quads because there's going to be a lot of 5 foot nothings all up in your shit, looking up at you like a Ferris wheel, and you have to engage in that energy. You can't just say no to that energy because there's a lot of 5 foot nothing beautiful women that are just so mentally unwell, and they want to take all that energy out on you in the moment, and it could be a lot of fun. I dated a number of short women. Now my wife is not short. She's like average to taller. She looks like a grown-ass healthy person and not like, you know, a little leprechaun. But I've dated those sexy little leprechauns, and there's a lot of good that can come from them, right?
Short girls are nice. It's, you know, the juxtaposition, you know.
So now when you're in the cut, when you're in that moment, right?
What
when you're
cut was this?
There was like a DJ with like rainbow sunglasses. She wasn't good at all. But you know, she thought she was, you know, like in Park Slope at like a rave in a basement.
I know what night you're talking about.
And you were there, and she was playing some really poorly put together beat, and you were in the corner and you were bobbing your head, you were looking around, picking your spots, slowly navigating into the circle.
He was gathering intel.
But you also are aware in that moment that you are one of the taller people in that room. So you can't go right into the center because it's too much attention. You got to slowly circumnavigate the exterior. And there was a little kind of cutesy looking 5 foot nothing girl who was locked on you like a poodle. And she wanted more. She wanted to understand what was going on. So you took it upon yourself to, you know, you did a little bit of a bump and grind, but you got real low. You made sure that you still had, you know, the bump and grind was jean dick touching jean pant. You didn't want to grind her upper back with your cock. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because then it's like all of a sudden, next thing you know, you sit your dick on her shoulder like a little snaggler snake saying hello, and like that's a lot for her, you know.
Yeah.
So you got real low. But what I want to ask you in that situation, as another tall guy, like when I was single, whenever I would dance, when I was out at a nightclub with a much shorter girl, right? I just naturally happened to be more aware of my surroundings because I felt stupid. I felt silly.
Always.
I felt silly. And B, I was looking for, is there a beautiful tall woman nearby who I am losing all of her respect for me in this moment, right? That's what went through my head, right? In those moments, what goes through yours?
Well, definitely always the embarrassment. I don't know how to dance. I know how to like lock into a beat and a groove and like
So
move my
you
body
weren't happy
to the
with
beat.
this moment.
I'm never happy with my dancing. I've never
High
felt
standards.
a moment where I've been like, actually, wow, you know what? I wish more people saw that. But and being the tall guy, that's you can feel it. The eyes sometimes.
So what type of eyes now? Because I feel like the times I'm talking about it was like circa 2009 to 2012. That was kind of my college single fuckery heyday, right? So I mean, we're talking 10 years ago. So now, right? What are the feelings you feel in your perimeter when you're dancing with like a chihuahua type of creature and people are looking at you?
The weird thing is, I don't feel like I get eyes unless I'm with someone.
Did you feel our eyes? Because you had our eyes.
I had no idea you guys were there. I know exactly the night you're talking about. Like, oh my God.
You had our eyes. And we were sitting with some of the Wolfgang's people, and I think it ended up leading to you also gathered their eyes. You had four Albanian men watching you in discomfort and interest. They wanted to know more about what was happening.
Oh, making sense. Grabbing the left hip, going in, getting a little lower, bending it right in.
Oh, he's going in with it.
Cheek to cheek, cheek to cheek encounter.
And he's in. So you're in that moment. What are some of the feelings though you feel around you? Do you feel more of an energy from the men nearby, from the women nearby?
It depends. Like I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely more of the women. Only when I'm with someone. I swear to God. I was in Morristown dancing with a friend, a girl, a friend. I don't know. And
Your penis was inside her. Continue.
And but it was weird. We're like dancing, and like I can see a lot of people, specifically girls, in Iron Bar, the basement there, like crowd full of people, and I'm looking everywhere, and I'm like, people are just looking at us, and I'm like. This is so weird. I don't know.
And this was with a female that was much shorter than you.
She was average height. This one.
Okay, well then that looks more.
The girl you're talking about ended up being my girlfriend for like a month.
Okay, so that was a nice relationship. And then what? Why did that? Why did you think that was going to work? And then B, why did it not work?
You get excited and you see the shallow surface level things that you think you connect on, like, oh, you like this, you think like this, oh, that's great. And
so height had nothing to do with it. It just wasn't. The
height helps. It's always a nice style. Like, tall guys like short girls, as you know.
Well, I did. So I used to feel, and you can tell me if you agree with this feeling, but I dated, and she was very cute, but I dated a 5'0" girl in college, and I just remember walking down like South Street, Philadelphia, with her, and I just felt like people were walking by. I felt like I was walking with like my little sister. I felt like I was walking with like my daughter, and it felt weird, And I'm like, it just didn't like. I don't know if that's a vibe.
Well, it's fun. I don't usually get carded at the liquor store near my house, but I went in with her, and she's older than me, 4 years older, and because she looks like she's too young for me to talk to, actually, we got carded. And I was like, oh. I was like, you're carding? And I was like, oh, it's because of her? You guys don't know. She's older, but I know. It's, yeah.
Got you. Yeah. So it was fascinating. At one point, we did observe some more, I think. We were at the bar, and then you finished dancing with this lovely girl of a smaller feather. And after the song ended, you guys were kind of playing bathroom tag with one another. You were in and out of the bathroom. So was she. And then you kind of went back around. You avoided her for a little bit, and you started to work the perimeter again to kind of see what else was in the ether. Was there a mindset there?
Let me
this
clear
is
the
post-game
record.
interview. In the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left in the third, you come back out of the bathroom. You start to recircumnavigate the left side of the room. Now, what was going through?
Let me tell you, they really had us in the first half. I was there with a bunch of friends, a lot of female friends that were there, and they help if you want to get girls that you don't know to dance with you. Having female friends,
Having the female
Yeah,
friends.
that's interesting. Yeah,
it's very important.
Yeah, I want the
ingredient.
listeners to really digest that because that's like a great point. Like you're invisible until you're taken.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So like
yeah.
That's a great point. Just go out with a bunch of girls.
No, seriously.
That is a great
That
point.
was So if it looked like I was playing the perimeter, it was
So now, when I went out, when I was in college, always had at least a wingman, maybe two, right? Are the days of that not as popular now? In 2021, is there more of a vibe where you can just go out either by yourself or ideally with like another woman or two that is just strictly a platonic friendship?
I haven't stumbled upon that yet. I would love it, but I feel like there has to be some like dynamics. Like,
What's your go-to going out? You go out by yourself. You just
I will go out by myself because I'm a lonely boy. No, I have one friend who's always trying to hit me up and go out, and his energy sometimes he's a little too excitable. He can watch this too. He knows exactly who he is, but he has like puppy dog energy when it comes to things, and you got to be like, no.
So there's definitely and there's definitely qualifications to be your wingman. What are some of the qualifications? Like
you gotta have. I like going out with Robbie and Lucas because we each have it's a triforce of different energies, and
Yes.
Robbie's really good at like talking to people that he doesn't know and being like, oh, blah blah blah, and then bring up a great point, something that I should have known to be able to bring up, like, oh, we're gonna go do this afterwards and it's gonna be great, you guys should come along. And I'm like, wow, you're a genius. Like, and Lucas is just Lucas. Like, I don't know, you look at him in his suit and his dreads, and if he has his sax on him, like there's automatically gonna be attention anywhere Lucas is.
But I think what happens is when the three of you go out, if Lucas was here, I think what Lucas would say is that when that dynamic happens, you go out, he gets all dappered up, he wears his little hat, he has a saxophone, he starts playing a beautiful song, it's attracting attention, women are coming towards you guys, and then they're just fucking you. So that's how does that end up? It's almost like he's a vagina snare horn that is bringing them in to your base camp,
And he's the magnet. Once they're there, it's like, woo.
yeah. And I don't know if he completely appreciates that, but he understands why that happens. Right?
I understand why people might think that is going on, and maybe that's the case. I don't know. I might hold attention. I think I'm good at talking to people. I like people. I like learning about different things. I feel like.
Are you ever grinding with a girl where you feel like you're literally mid squat and you say, maybe I pass this one over to Lucas?
Every time, every single girl I've ever dated.
So in that night, you're grinding with her. In the moment, you're like, what am I doing? Like, right? Like, why? There's a man in an outfit with an instrument with great hair.
And he would hair that maybe even I should have. Yeah. And I've been told specifically that I should. And I'm like, should I? I guess I don't know. But
yeah, so that's fun, and that's the dynamic of me and Lucas, and that's fun. And I think it'd be fun to see the dynamic of us three going out, and maybe
that'd be a fun dynamic.
Maybe we could go fishing for that saxophone guy's girl.
We gotta.
I think you're the missing piece in this. We do need to go out and we need to recruit 4 lovely women who I want to make sure that this is as positive of an experience for them as possible. If they're agreeing,
enjoy it,
if they agree to be on the Lucas that saxophone guy's girl contest dating show, right? I want you compensate them. Maybe we get them dinner, get them everything they need, bring them back to the.
Of course, the winner gets a date on.
The winner has to go on a date. They all agree to that. I'm going to type up a contract for that this week, and they have to sign off.
Especially if they're getting paid.
You know what I mean? Like if they're being compensated. So we bring them in, and they all have to have a outgoing personality, or it's not going to really work. And then you can kind of be. I want you to show up with like a red velvet jacket, and you're going to be the guy that just talks about love. You're going to be the guy. You don't have any love in your life currently. Are you single right now? Are you currently single?
Yes.
All right. So, but if you just all you have to do is put on a red velvet jacket and you just represent true love to these women. So you let them know that this is what the point of this show is, and he's kind of like the host, right? Me and you are the commentators. We will dictate the process, but Seth is the one like it's from like those shows. He's like the guy from America's Got Talent. He's the Nick Cannon in the back, going rooting them on.
Yeah, or
right?
the Terry Crews nowadays.
He's the Terry Crews.
Give me Terry Crews because I want to.
So you need to be the Terry Crews for this show, and
I'll hit the gym.
we will source these women, and that saxophone guy's girl will be streaming soon. I'm super excited about that project.
I'm excited about that. That's since you told me about it. Sounds like a wonderful venture that I would love to be a part of.
Well, I think we need you, and you have a good heartbeat to this town. You have a heartbeat to the vaginas in this town, and you know whether it's physically, emotionally, or weirdly intrinsically, I think you could be a major help. But with that being said, guys, I don't know what your thoughts. Is this going to work?
One last thing, I love that like the whole theme behind this dating show is that like you want to judge a person by their personality.
Yes.
Like not by preconceived, okay, you're from this border, you're from this, you're from this religion, you have this. So like I love that it's going to be fun. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make them laugh. We're going to have a good time. We'll have fun finding them. And like there's a good opportunity because, you know, Lucas is a fun person. I think people have fun dating him.
Yeah.
But like I love that the whole main concept of it is like just judge based on personality, not on like
the entire point, because it all started with we have a man who dates solely on ethnicity, and I don't agree with that. I think I want to break that from him. I don't
Equal rights dating.
It's not that you can't have a type, but I want to show him that you have to balance the things you're looking for. Yeah, I mean, beautiful. You could do a song in the middle, right?
Yeah. I'll be warmed up.
Seth just does like in the middle of it after the first girl talks about her. Then there's an intermission, and Seth is just a half hour of singing. At the 25-minute mark, everyone's just sitting there waiting, and he's still going, "It's a whole new place," and we're like, "Jesus Christ!" I'm like, "Okay, can we continue? Can we get the thing going?" Man, that will be a good time as always, guys, and back for. Back for now and for a while. It's been a minute, but as always, has been the Digestif. If you guys want to follow the show, hear about the show, learn more about it, you can follow us on Instagram at @the_Digestif. Follow us on Facebook at the Digestif. I don't think that's true. We don't have a Facebook page.
Oh, it's there. I could update it more, but we have one.
It's not something we should plug. As always, guys. I've been Sam Ushman. You can follow me on Instagram at Vino Comic. That's Vino_comic. Fun stuff going on there. Mr. Robbie Sco, where can they hear about you, find you?
Instagram, Robbie Sco, and YouTube, which released my latest YouTube in 5 months. Gonna try to go more weekly on that. Excited for that. Also, Robbie Sco.
Nice. And last but not least, the one, the only, the very interesting, Mr. Seth. I don't say your full name because I don't know if you want that, but you can go ahead and do it if you like. It's up to you.
You're good. Even if you saw it, you might not be able to say it. It's weird. Half Polish, half Irish on my dad's side. I don't know why I said that. My dad is Polish Irish. Doesn't matter. You can find me on Instagram at Recurve Music. RECURVE Music.
Now, is that a metaphor for the shape of your penis?
It is straight.
All right. Well, I think then all of us, including the entire town, learned a lot today.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Until next time. Appreciate it.